Welcome back. I told you I may be back, and I am. The reason why I'm back is because I'm going to be starting 75 hard. I'll be checking in with y'all every day so that I'll be keeping myself accountable to you. If this seems like something that you want to participate with, then I would be glad for you to join me on this journey. I'll also be putting the day one, day two, day three. That way, it's another form of a check in. You'll be able to see perhaps the way that I look on day one versus the way that I look on day 75. And to present to you the thought of the day, I want to call it any. Here's the thought of the day. I have many brilliant thoughts every day. But one of the dominant ones that I wanted to capture that was downloaded to me that I want to share is that there is nothing that can stop you from gaining more power. And this is a concept that should really, if truly internalized, shift the way that you move. I believe that for men, the two purposes that we have that are fulfilling are procreation and gaining power. And in my opinion, happiness is the act of doing any of those things. So I'll repeat that. The purpose of man, in my understanding, is procreation and gaining power. The act of doing any of those two is what is experienced as happiness or fulfillment, right? So, of course, with procreation, that is sex. That is what leads to being able to have children. That's a whole nother topic, a whole nother discussion. We can put that on the back burner for now. But the important one is power. And power is gaining capacity. It's moving in the direction of your desire, giving you the increased likelihood of attaining something that you imagine, whether it be an experience or a prize. That is the experience of gaining power. So let's take for analogy somebody that is aiming to be an athlete, somebody that wants to be an athlete. When they are in training, when they are doing physical activities, exercises, all of that, it's something that feels fulfilling. So much so that when they don't, when they, let's say if they retire and they cease to do it, they feel like their life is meaningless. Sometimes they spiral out of joy because they don't understand what they're not gaining power towards competition, towards something that is meaningful. That's just what it is. What about for people that are athletes gaining power? No, sorry, people that are artists gaining power is the repetition. It's doing exploring your artistic gift, your artistic expression. That is gaining power for the person that's an actor. When they are able to get fully, even more so, into character, they are gaining power. So the truth is that power is the thing that man seeks most. Now, there may be times in life, and I will genuinely empathize with you in saying that the illusions of life sometimes may present that there is no way for you to gain power. But I submit to you that in those times is the most opportunity for gaining power. If you can follow the rules of life. And you might be asking yourself, what is the rules? What are you talking about? You see, through this journey, if we look at life like we are this orb, okay? And you are being kind of formed by experiences to become this 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 true essence of this being. And when you go through certain experiences that are challenging, if you are able to keep to your essence without getting destroyed, then you become even stronger. All right. But what happens is that in most cases, because of the way that society is set up now, when you face challenges, here's what happens. It's common to lean on vices, and the vices is what misshapes the soul. The vices is what gets the soul bent out of shape. Okay? So a lot of people will turn, it's common now, people are turning to these vapes and stuff like that. Some people turn to food. Certain people will turn to weed, marijuana, drugs. Some people will turn to alcohol. Some people will turn to lust. All these different things to alleviate the tension of going through tough experiences that are created to form you into the powerful being that you are created to be. And it's very common for us, and I can speak to this because I've been there, where you go, no, it could not possibly be this thing in my life that is the reason why I'm not able to achieve what I deserve. And the reality is that there is no compartmentalization in life. I'm going to say that again. There's no compartmentalization in the game of life. If there is any area in your life that you are not presenting to be molded into truth, into the being of what it possibly could be, you're going to face frustration. You're going to face frustration if you do not submit parts of your being to be molded and formed by life. You're going to think, no, it could not be that part. That has nothing to do with this part. But it does. There's no compartmentalization in life. So you may be thinking you want to be a successful entrepreneur. You want to be able to earn your own income. Meanwhile, you're giving your all, you're studying, you're learning your stuff, but you're just not able to get enough. Let's just say you're not able to get enough customers. And you're going, I'm doing this, all of this stuff, I'm putting in all the effort, I'm putting in all the work over here. Meanwhile, you may have a little vicey vice on the side. And that vicey vice may seem like it is not hindering you from getting to where you want to get to, but watch this. Watch you drop this vicey vice and say, I am going to just put this shit on hold. This vicey vice, I'm going to put that shit on hold. Let me see if that has any effect on this outcome that I desire, getting this outcome. And watch that outcome be directly affected. It's truth. It's a mystery, but maybe it's not. But it is true. There's no compartmentalization in life. So here is the truth. If you realize that there is nothing stopping you from gaining power, in all situations, you always have a move, then all you have to do is remember that your goal is power, especially as a man. As a man, realize that your goal is gaining power. Think strategically based off of who you are as a being. What is going to be advantageous for you to have? And begin on that journey of getting it. Just begin. And from there, watch things shift. Watch things shift when you realize that nothing can stop you. Even if all of the things that are going on in the world, think about that door. This thing may be in your way. Let's say I'm going to give a concrete example. Right now, as I'm making this video, the year is 2025. Artificial intelligence is ravaging through the job market as I predicted more than 2 years ago. It's the reason why I rebranded, redesigned the course that I created from Nova Code Academy to Tech Founder Pro, and realization that being a tech founder would become the new software engineer, because software engineering was going to be impacted by artificial intelligence. Now, right now in the job market, aside from artificial intelligence ravaging through the jobs because of corporations, not necessarily that they need to, but based off of the financial calculation of what a corporation is, as I've mentioned in previous videos, it is a legally created entity, an entity just like a person that has a sole purpose of maximizing the profits for the shareholders and minimizing the costs. It is a legally created entity with this purpose. So it's a slave. A corporation is a slave to maximize profits for the shareholders. It can behave in psychopathic nature, but that's based off of its design. So even in a scenario where what is best for the corporation is detrimental for the entire country, for the entire world, the corporation is still legally designed for it to logically do what is right for it as opposed to society. And that's what we see happening right now, is that in the situation where corporations continue to lay off all of their employees, well, the employees don't have, the people that were former employees, the people will not have the income for them to spend money with the businesses. This is causing, uh, it's like some sort of there's some sort of an analogy for a disease that is quite accurate to what is going on right now. But nonetheless, the effect is that the common businesses are going out of business. They're seeing their profits reduce significantly, whether that be in luxury, fashion, in restaurants, Starbucks. And what's happening is that a lot of the CEOs are leaving. The CEOs are going, look, they don't know how to steer the ship in the right direction. They're going to take their millions and whatever and bounce. And that's what's going on right now. On top of all of this, there is something that has not really been talked about a lot in society right now, just based off of the nature of it. People are afraid to be called a racist. People are afraid to be called, any type of term that is offensive. But there is a huge issue right now with the H-1B visa. And what's happening right now is that corporations are sending the jobs that belong here in America, they're sending them to India so that they do not have to pay as much for people that are here in America. And also, in addition, people in India are being sent to America because the Indian people have engineered themselves into the process of creating opportunities so deep within the corporate structure that they actually get first dibs for many of the jobs that exist right now, many of the white collar jobs. In fact, Indian people far out earn the typical American in America. And this is only increasing right now, but it's not being talked about by the politicians. It's not being talked about by the people that run corporations because they benefit from it and they don't care. They have no reason to truly care for the American, people, the American livelihood. So this is actually what is happening right now. Now, the reason why I brought this up is that in a scenario where what you're aiming to do is to get a job, you may find yourself frustrated. You may find yourself going, well, this means that that thing that is trying to be accomplished is is not possible to accomplish because something is in your way, and it's easy to get frustrated. But when you return to this understanding that I'm presenting to you, which is that the purpose of life is power and, of course, procreation. And you always have ways of gaining power, then no matter what is happening, your focus is just on ways to gain power, power that's relevant to what you need to do. No matter what it is that you are, whatever, no matter what's going on, you always have ways of gaining power. It could be physical power, it could be mental power, it can be developing your craft, any of the other crafts. It can be relationship power. I don't want to talk about something esoteric like spiritual power, because that's so no most people won't understand that. Hell, I don't understand that yet. But I will say there's always ways to gain power. And with this thought, I want to just give that to you. Let this be a guiding post. No matter what frustrating situation you're going through, you always have a move. And the move that you do is always going to be towards power. I believe I will be starting the series. We'll just start it with tomorrow. Tomorrow, I aim to make that the first day of me participating in this 75 hard. So I'll start to enumerate the days over there, and you'll be able to see my body change a bit. Some people might be like, yo, no, but what type of shape are you in? Let's see. Right now, my shape is all right. Let's see. Decent shape. I have some good habits. I haven't been in the gym too much, but of course I have some good habits. And hey, we'll see how I look day by day, week by week, and that's what it is.